disad counterplan. Everybody got that? Yeah? Or you did not, I'll assume that's a yes. Okay. Ready? There are more reasons to vote affirmative than there are debaters on the wiki team. The first is on the affidavit. The only argument she goes for is that there will be less condoms, less U.S. condoms now. I don't think you got the argument, and the one I already told you that's non-unique. There are 0 condoms now that the United States provides. That's because your argument is inherent to the status quo. The plan is a direct shift away from that. This is devastating for you. This literally means she concedes the entirety of Advantage 1 and Advantage 2. This is global AIDS collapse, and more importantly, this is every impact imaginable. That's the second evidence. You literally concede to me that the F solves 100% of this. Any risk that the counterplan doesn't, or that the dissent doesn't outweigh, means you vote F inevitably. The dissent debate. She says that Africa wants regionalism. This doesn't respond to my uniqueness arguments. Your card is from like April 2nd or April 3rd. My card's from April 15th, talking about how we just had emergency food aid. This is localized and specialized. Your link evidence talks about, which means I'm wanting a 100% risk that this is not unique. Additionally, you don't respond to any of my arguments here. You say that I don't get any access to my link term. That's not true. My Robinson evidence says that we will continue to do things like this, and my second evidence says that because of the status quo, that every impact is imaginable. The best hope is that the plan solves this argument. Additionally, you don't respond to any of the one I see in evidence here. Additionally, you say you check on magnitude, but you concede on the case debate that I solve for the entirety of Advantage 2, which outweighs. This is every impact imaginable. Your new core scenario doesn't really matter, so I get that and a whole lot else, the counterclaim. Not going for the theory on severance because she didn't either on the perm debate. She says it links to the dissad. Duh, it's a perm, and as long as I'm winning the link turn on the dissad because you don't respond to a good portion of my evidence, then not only it proves 2 things. First, that the perm would be competitive, and 2, that it means literally there's no reason to vote for the counterclaim because it's not net beneficial. Additionally, you say that the United States will continue to push from the status quo for the evangelical right, and then the plan can't solve it, and you say because there's no evidence that says Uganda's key. Look, you have no evidence that says Uganda isn't key. I have the only evidence on this question in this round, and I have the best evidence on this question. My Robinson evidence, which you continually concede to me, says that Uganda is at the core of the Bush administration's push to the evangelical right. It is a great example of. You concede this argument to me, which means I'm running 100% risk that you never get access to Advantage 2 on the counterplan, leaving you with your only option as the dissad to check Advantage 1, and I'm winning way on mitigated offense on the dissad, not to mention 100% defense. Additionally, you say that there's no reason why condoms, there's no reason why the counterplan would solve it. Additionally, you said there's no reason why the condoms would happen, but my Robinson evidence is devastating on this question that I read on the counterplan. I tell you that the United States is key. You literally concede every internal link in this evidence is because the United States controls Uganda's health infrastructure, and because of hegemonic politics, the United States will crush Uganda internally if the AU were to do the plan. The best risk is the AF or the perm at best. There is no hope here for the counterplan. It's 100% unmitigated offense. Additionally, you say that regionalism solves this argument. That's not true. I'm winning 100% mitigated offense and a lot of defense at the bottom of the counterplan. Look, when it comes down to it, this is an easier decision than going hunting with the vice president. You have a counterplan that clearly doesn't compete with the affirmative. The perm doesn't matter. The perm is at best a risk that it solves better than the counterplan. You have 100% conceded offense that the United States will crush Uganda if they move away from our policies. The dissent has 100% defense that is never responded to, and a risk that I win the link turn, and she doesn't go for topicality. At the bottom of this debate, I don't see how you couldn't vote affirmative. So for all these reasons, you should. Thank you.